Pickle hit the air raid siren.
Oh, that was bad.
Monday morning fallout, just like the graphic says, where we overreact to the football weekend, and per usual, a lot to overreact to. We're going to start with my opening thought. Opening thought, known knowns and known unknowns.
I had to really make sure I spelt all that
Are
right.
There's an N on the unknowns.
Gosh, darn it.
See it?
No.
Unknowns.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
You did this on purpose.
This is like a military thing. There's known knowns, which is like things that we know exist and we know what they're comprised of.
Mm-hmm.
There's known unknowns, which is there are things we don't know, but we know we don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
There's unknown knowns, right? I get it, right? And then there's unknown unknowns. Let's talk about known knowns and known unknowns, especially when it comes to the Texas high school football world. Because I think that we've now reached the point, 8 weeks into the season, where there are teams that we know exactly where they stand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And especially after this week, I think there's a number of teams where we know exactly where they stand. Pickle, is there any other doubts that we have about the Columbus Cardinals?
No, absolutely not.
That they're a certified, undisputed state championship caliber team?
110%.
That's a known. We get that. That is solidified now. There's other teams. I think there's a few other teams. I think Stratford, that win over Panhandle, certainly puts them in that mix as well. There's other teams that we haven't talked a ton about. Duncanville, right? Now, next week, they'll take on DeSoto. Maybe we'll learn a little bit more, but I don't think there's any doubt that they're on that short list of Texas high school football contenders. Aledo, in that same way. There are teams that we know what they are. What is interesting to me are the teams that we're still figuring out. Pickle, what do we do with Tyler Chapel Hill?
Man, I don't know, but that was wild.
They lose to Lindale.
Yep, we literally were just already looking ahead going, hey, when did they play Kilgore for the district championship? And then...
And by the way...
Hi there, Chris Cochran.
And give a lot of credit to Chris Cochran and that Lindale bunch who needed a big upset to really springboard them. They've been kind of up and down this season, but obviously they came out and did the darn thing. Here's my concern for Chapel Hill. The last time we saw them lose, they were getting bullied up front by Bernie. Mm-hmm. Isn't that exactly what Lindale does?
No, 110%.
Don't we know now that there is isn't there a blueprint now
to beat
for
them,
Chapel Hill? Pickle, what do we do with Frisco Emerson?
I have no idea.
They give it a fight. They were in it to the end, but they lose to an Argyle team that was on their backup quarterback, by the way.
Yeah. Had fallen out of the rankings, was not looking very impressive.
They were looking like another team.
Ranked.
Now, I think those are the two best teams in the region.
Yes.
And I think we're likely to see it again. But that's a team that we don't necessarily know what to do with now, right? There's a few of those teams around the state that we're just now starting to figure things out about what they are. But I think it's important to always recognize what we don't know. And there's still a handful of teams out there that we're figuring out. And by the way, this week, a number of those teams we're going to get to know about. Honeygrove springs to mind, right? Paradise springs to mind.
They did give up some points.
They did. Well, yeah, it's tough.
Sad.
Franklin, I think, is in that mix this week with Lorena. So we know a lot. We've got 8 weeks worth of data. But there's still things we don't know, and that's what makes this exciting. Game of the week. Last week I went with a college game. I've been on a college game here, and of course you could take Houston versus West Virginia, and you're certainly within your rights.
Go Cougs!
Certainly within your rights. That Thursday night crazy town banana pants game.
That rocked.
But I wanted to go in the high school ranks. How close attention were you paying to China Spring La Vega?
It was one of our spotlight games. We had Drake Toll and Cameron Stewart on at halftime, and it was a blast.
It was unbelievable. Back and forth. China Spring La Vega scores with about 2 minutes left to take the lead. China Spring roars back and scores with about 50 seconds left to take the lead back. La Vega's throwing into the end zone on the final play, and China Spring holds on. Now, I have some questions about the China Spring defense, especially heading into Stephenville this week. But You put it in the left-hand column. They don't ask you how, they ask you how many. And that was a wild affair on Texan Live. China Spring La Vega, my game of the week. Am I overreacting?
Yes.
Is Texas State the second best team in the state? Now.
From playing in their division.
I want to be clear. I want to be very clear about something, okay? Hear me when I say this. Of course, like, I would pick A&M to beat Texas State.
Yeah.
Of course I would. I'm not saying anything otherwise. But they're now 5-2 after a gutty come-from-behind win over Louisiana Monroe. Hasn't always been pretty.
No.
But something's changing there.
Yep.
Something's changing, and I think right now, I think Texas is the best team in Texas. Is
Yes.
that anyone want to?
No, like one pound for pound and two in their respective, weight class. Yes.
After that, it's either Texas State or SMU.
Yep. And SMU just now is starting to show those flashes of what SMU football does. We were sitting there watching that game, Mallory and I were, and she's like, they finally look like an SMU offense because they're letting it air out. They hadn't been doing that. Texas State's been doing what they've been doing. First bowl game right on the precipice.
One more win and they get to a bowl game. Keep it on Texas State. Tell your children about the 5-2 Texas State Bobcats. Dudes Rock. Time for the Dudes Rock Dude of the Week. Where we honor a dude who rocked. Use the hashtag Dudes Rock to get it in. Let's talk about Jeremy Payne, the Fort Bend Hightower running back. I feel like if you wanted to change the name of this segment, you could call it the Large Bills Only segment because what I've been drawn to is guys who just score every time they have the ball. Jeremy Payne had 8 carries for 128 yards and a touchdown. He also had 2 catches for 131 yards and 2 touchdowns. Okay? So I'm doing some quick math. So he had 10 touches for 259 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Seems good.
Seems pretty good for Fort Bend Hightower running back Jeremy Payne. This week's hashtag Dudes Rock Dude of the Week. It's time for Tepper's Play of the Week. A lot of great plays. You can watch a ton of them on Dave Campbell's Texan Live, but this one caught my eye. It's very rare that the play of the week comes from the locker room, but at Kingwood Park before their big game this week, they definitely got the play of the week.
Let's go, Cooper. You got it.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, George. I just want to talk about one thing. That's our slogan from the beginning of this year. Has always been to stay relentless. And you guys know that has been on the football field, in the classroom, in our lives, in our relationships, and against our personal evils. And I got to tell you something right now. The last couple months, you guys have inspired me. Because I've been going through my own personal evil that you guys all know, and that's cancer. And you guys have overcome heat. You guys overcome obstacles in everyday life. And I wake up and you motivate me. I got to tell you right now, because you guys are my family, your inspiration has made me stay relentless in my battle. And I got a call last night from my doctor that I've gone 1-0 against cancer. Yeah!
We're going to dedicate this game to our man right here, Coach Cooper. Oh, yeah! Out there today. He showed you how to do it. We stay relentless. Let's go, Cooper, on 3, 1, 2, 3.
That's Kingwood Park assistant coach Eric Couvert announcing to his team before their game on Thursday against Baytown Lee that he was cancer-free. Spectacular stuff. And with all due respect to the Ganders of Baytown Lee, they had no chance. No chance.
Absolutely not.
Kingwood Park wins at 21-20 in a big win for them, by the way.
Very
now
cool.
6-2 on the year, playing inspired football, and it's easy to see why. Congratulations to Coach Eric Couvert. That's our play of the week. Now, quick break for a hot take. The Big 12 stinks. I've tried to think it through. I've tried to figure out a way around this particular take. Mm-hmm. Let's rank the Big 12 right now, okay?
Okay.
Texas and OU.
Light years ahead of everybody
within
else.
one score of one another in some order. Right now it has to be OU over Texas, right? Top 2. Who's the third best team?
I don't know.
I think it was Kansas. Then they lost this week to Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
Right?
Yeah.
Who is it? The Big 12 is no good this year.
No, they're really not.
Plain and simple. And so here's the standings right now. Do you know who is presently second in the, like, as far as standings is concerned?
Is it K-State?
Iowa State.
Oh, yeah, because they had the win over Oklahoma State.
Kansas State. Tell me if any of these teams spark joy. Okay? Iowa State, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, West Virginia, Kansas without Jaden Daniels.
West Virginia actually would have been
Jalen
heavy second favorite had it not been for Houston beating them on a Hail Mary in a game that they should have easily won.
TCU, Texas Tech, BYU, Houston,
Tech dropped another
Baylor,
bad one.
UCF, Cincinnati. None of them. None of them. It's okay to just admit that the league just kind of stinks this year. There's two teams that are at least flirting with elite.
And
And
then
then
it
there's
just drops.
12 others. 12 others? 12 others.
Yeah, I think. Numbers. Who knows at this point?
Who's to say how many teams are in the Big 12?
It ain't 12.
And 12. Anyway, that's my hot take. Now it's time for my Huh of the Week. Huh of the Week. Round Rock Stony Point 7, Cedar Park Vista Ridge 6. Now here's what's frustrating for me about this. First of all, Vista Ridge was a comfortable favorite according to the computer. They were 26-point favorite to win by 26 points. This is the second time in 3 weeks that they've lost a game like this. Remember, back in week 6, they lost to McNeil 7-6. I'm sorry, I had this wrong. It's 7-0 was the final score.
Oh.
I sent it to you wrong because I was getting it confused with the other game they lost by giving up 7 points. 7-6 and 7-0, 2 losses within 3 weeks. And here's what's frustrating, okay? I'm a guy who's trying to plot out what District 25-6A looks like, specifically vis-a-vis as it matters to Vandergrift. And Westwood goes and beats McNeil. And that's like, okay, clarity. This thing's going to start settling in. We're going to have a nice infrastructure. And then this. And it, like, invites in all these possibilities of ties. Round Rock Stony Point 7, Cedar Park Vista Ridge 0.
That sounds like your Guh of the week and not your Huh of the week.
Crazy. It's now time for the wild stat of the week. And we need to talk about the Dalhart Wolves. Okay. Let me tell you about Dalhart. Dalhart took on Shallowater this week. Going to the fourth quarter.
That's a far drive.
It is. Dalhart clinging to a 21-14 lead. Okay? 21-14 lead. And first play of the fourth quarter, Shallowater's driving. They throw an interception. Clayton Vincent, or Carnesca, who is this? Colton Carnesca, who also had the go-ahead touchdown catch, picks it off in the end zone. Runs it out to the 5-yard line. Okay? 11:52 left in the game. They're up 21-14. Dalhart goes on a 23-play,
Jesus.
90-yard, 11-minute, 52-second drive and kneels it out on the 5.
Oh, my God, that rules.
A 23-play, 11-minute, 52, 90-yard drive to then kneel it on the 5. A legendary drive from Dalhart.
Do you know how loud the Shallowater parents must have been yelling at the defense to just do anything?
Apparently they this is our friends Press Pass Sports, presspass.news. Apparently they ran it down to like the 1 second on the clock, play clock, took it and just kept converting. 23 plays to kill an entire quarter.
11:52
and win the game.
Literally an entire quarter.
Told you. That's your wild stat of the week.
That rules.
Steph called me with that stat. He goes, dude, did you hear about Dalhart? I'm like, no, of course I didn't hear about Dalhart. And then he told me, and I ran in here and I said, we got to change the wild stat of the week.
Also, Step calling and that not giving you a high. Just did you hear about Dalhart is just.
Speaking of Matt Step, It's what you've all been waiting for. It's time for this week's Matt Stepp. He got that dog in him, Player of the Week.
And now, the Matt Step. He got that dog in him. Player of the Week.
Hey y'all, it's Matt Stepp with Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Here at San Antonio International Airport, getting ready to head back to the Metroplex after a great week of high school football. But before I do that, I gotta bring you the winner of this week's Matt Stepp. He got that dog in him award winner. And the winner of this week's Matt Stepp, he got that dog in him award winner, is none other than Lake Belton wide receiver Micah Hudson. The 5-star receiver committed to Texas Tech, hauled in 2 first-half touchdown catches and had a punt return inside the red zone to set up another touchdown as Lake Belton rolled past Granbury 45-7. Congrats, Micah. You, sir, have got that dog in you.
This has been the Matt Stepp He Got That Dog in Him Player of the Week.
Congratulations to Micah Hudson.
Y'all have got to be stopped.
A recognition that I'm sure he will treasure forever.
Yeah, forget being a 5-star, forget being one of the most highly sought-after recruits. The fact that he's the Matt Stepp, he's got that dog in him Player of the Week winner has to be amongst the top.
You have my attention, Van. The Van Vandals take down Center 56-36 in, by Center standards, a low-scoring affair. Mm-hmm. Holding Center to 36 points is, I believe, their low of the season. It is, in fact. I can confirm that. No, they beat Dangerfield 28-21, although I think that game might have been shortened due to weather. They hold them down to a 56-36 win, and that offense is rolling. And now, here's why they have my attention. Open date at Carthage.
Ooh.
Open date this week at Carthage, week 10.
Well, having an open date before Carthage is always ideal.
Watch this space. By the way, Carthage got Center this week. Get excited for Brock versus Paradise. Interesting matchup here. This feels like a carbon copy of what it was last year. Mm-hmm. Paradise, undefeated, feeling good, taking on a Brock team that took a bunch of losses in non-district but has been pummeling teams since then. It was a close game last year. It'll be a state-ranked game. Spoiler alert for the rankings later. State-ranked game this week. Keep an eye on that one. Final thought, it's scoreboard watching season. We mentioned this earlier when we talked about our hunt of the week. But we're now at the point, especially in 6A, where teams are going to be keeping an eye on the other teams because it's going to determine who goes where. Specifically, North Crowley, Katy, Vandegrift, South Lake. South Lake Carroll's going to go. DeSoto technically could move. There's a number of big time programs whose fates are going to be determined not just on what they do, but on who finishes 4th in that district. So with these final 3 weeks of the regular season, we're officially in scoreboard watching mode, and coaches are going to be on the Football Friday app trying to figure out exactly which bracket they're going to be playing in. That is Monday Morning Fallout. Hey, thanks for watching this clip here on YouTube. If you like this kind of stuff and you want more of it, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember, you can watch us live every weekday at noon at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, or here on YouTube. And if you want more of the best coverage of football in the state of Texas, check out TexasFootball.com and become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at TexasFootball.com/subscribe.